Welcome you all for the session on role of financial institutions. In this, I am going to explain about what is the role of financial institutions, the classification of various financial institutions, and its role for the development of economy. So, we are going to divide the entire financial institutions into two broad categories. The categories of financial institutions are like banking institutions and non-banking financial institutions. So basically what the financial institutions are acting as the mediator between the investors and the borrowers. Basically you can take from the circular flow of income itself, there are the financial institutions who are act as a mediator between the investors as well as from the borrower. So they are connecting between them, they act as a mediator, they are collecting the investments, they are collecting the savings from the investors, and those investments are going to be given to the borrowers, given to the firm for starting up of their enterprises. So likewise, the kind of the arrangements are to be provided by the financial institutions. Investors' savings are mobilized either directly or indirectly through the financial market. So basically the financial market is a place where we can be able to make our investment into the different investment avenues. It is, you can take the financial market, there are capital markets and the money markets. The capital market, in which in the investor point of view we can take the capital market, we are going to make investment into the long-term financial assets. It is like we are going to invest into equity, invest into debt instruments, invest into preference capital. Likewise, the kind of investments we can be able to make investment into the capital market, where we can able to make investment of short term. We can get the lower rate of return or lower percentage of return can be availed. By making investment into short term, we can go for money market instruments. So it is from the point of view of investor. Let me take from the point of view of borrowers. Borrowers can issue the instrument for collecting investment from the investors through capital market. They might be issue in the form of initial public offering or might be issuing in the form of the right issues, or like they are going for a private placement or a preferential allotment. There are different methods have been adopted by the companies who wants to mobilize the capital from the market for a longer period of time. It means if they are going for the short term requirements are to be fulfilled through using the money market, they can issue the treasury bill, certificate of deposit, commercial papers, repos. Those instruments can be issued, can be mobilized the short-term source of funds which required to the organizations. So likewise, the thing is understand here, it is the financial institution is a mediator. It bridges the gap between the investors and the borrower. And the second important aspect of the financial institutions, either the investor's savings are directly participated or directly invested or indirectly invested in from the financial market. It is the direct way of investment, they are directly subscribing the capital of the company or directly subscribing the debt instruments of the company. The way of indirect investment, they can buy the mutual funds, they can buy the units from the mutual fund schemes. Kind of indirect investment, portfolio investments or the indirect investments. So here the financial institutions that makes the arrangement for investors for their investments are being invested directly or indirectly into the market. So there are a few important functions of financial institutions. Or like the short-term liability can be converted into the long-term investments. So what is short-term liability is converted into the long-term investments? It is like you can take from the perspective of commercial banks. Deposits are the loans to the commercial bank, whereas the loans are the assets to the commercial bank. So you can take deposits are the liabilities to the commercial banks, whereas the loans are the assets to the commercial bank. So in this, the short-term deposit schemes are to be converted into the long-term loans or to be provided. So that also possible in the financial institutions and help the conversion of risky investment into risk-free investments by making or by opting out for the diversification in investment decisions. Instead of investing into a single stock or a single company, there are a portfolio investments are to be proposed. Thereby, the risk is going to be reduced and the return is going to be increased by making a kind of investments. Also act as a medium of convenience denomination, which can be compared. The small deposits are to be combined together, bundled together to offer the large amount of loan. The similar way, the large amount of deposits which can be converted, which can be provided into the smaller amount of loan, that can be possible. So this particular appropriation process is also being done by the financial institutions. There are a classification of financial institutions are classified into banking institutions or depository institutions and non-banking institutions or non-depository institutions. So let me take the classification of banking institutions. The banking institutions are classified into the commercial banks, regional rural banks, small finance banks, payment banks and cooperative banks. These are the basic classification of banking institutions. So the commercial banks which involved in the day-to-day activity of the business, day-to-day activities of the people, that providing the solution, providing the service offered by the commercial banks. Whereas the regional rural bank is aimed to provide credit to the agriculture, provide credit to the development of infrastructure. Likewise, the kind of credit facility is provided by the regional rural banks. The small finance banks, by its operation itself, it has been limited for offering the loans and accepting the payments or accepting the deposits from the public. There are limitations are imposed for the small finance banks, and the payment banks primarily aims to transfer of funds. For that, the particular purpose, the payment banks are working, and the cooperative banks with the mutual cooperation, with the mutual concern, this kind of banks are established in the different levels. Start with the primary cooperative credit societies, district level cooperative societies and the state level cooperative societies, or the different classifications of cooperative banks. Together we have for the banking institutions, and the banking institutions are furtherly classified. The commercial banks are furtherly classified into public sector bank, private sector banks and foreign banks. The public sector bank, it means it has been defined as the bank which is established by the government. It is either a state government or a central government, or together the state and central government joined together to start it. It means the capital of this bank has been contributed by the government. We call it as public sector bank. You can take as of now, there are 12 public sector banks are there in India after the merger of major banks. The consolidation, what was happened after the consolidation in this year, there are major banks, 12 major banks under the category of public sector banks. And after that, there are a private sector bank we can take. There are 22 private sector banks. It means the capital for the private sector bank is contributed by the institutions, private institutions. It is not contributed by the government, but it is supported by the government. It is also, all the banks comes under the regulation of Banking Regulation Act, Banking Companies Act. There are amendments of the Companies Act are also applicable for the banks, And the private sector banks are especially started by the private companies. It means a public limited company who has contributed the capital which is required to setting up of private sector banks. Together you can take, there are 22 private sector banks are there in India, and you can take the foreign banks. It means the banking company has established in any of the country, incorporated in any of the country, but they have a branch in India. So according to this, recently you can take, it is around the 44 banks that they have a branches in India. So these are the commercial banks. If you take the public sector banks, 12 banks are there at present, including you can take the State Bank of India and Indian Bank, Canara Bank are the major banks, major public sector banks. And you can take the private sector banks like the ICICI Bank, Karur Vysya Bank. You can take the Kotak Mahindra Bank, HDFC Bank are the major banks that the category of private sector banks. And the foreign banks you can take the HSBC Bank, Citibank. Likewise, there are 44 banks are under the category of foreign banks. The next category of banking institutions, it is regional rural banks. It is a special type of commercial bank that provide the concessional credit to the agriculture and rural sector, especially started by the commercial banks. Especially we can take this regional rural banks, the capital which is required for starting the regional rural banks have been contributed by the public sector banks. So at present you can take, there are 43 regional rural banks are there in India. The regional rural bank, which is a joint venture between the central government, the state government and the commercial banks. It means you can take, the central government has contributed the 50% of the paid up capital, and the 15% of the capital has been contributed by the state government, and the commercial bank contributes 35% of the capital, which we call it as a sponsoring bank. You take for example Pandian Grama Bank and Pallavan Grama Bank are the regional rural banks located in Tamil Nadu. During the year 2019, in the month of April 1, these two banks, these two regional rural banks are merged together. There is an amalgamations that happened with these two banks, and they have formed a new bank with a new name of Tamil Nadu Grama Bank. So now thereafter the Tamil Nadu Grama Bank, previously it was owned by Pandian Grama Bank and Pallavan Grama Bank. This particular Tamil Nadu Grama Bank has contributed, or the capital required for Tamil Nadu Grama Bank, almost the 35% of the capital is contributed by the Indian Bank. As the example for regional rural bank. Similar to this, there are about 43 regional rural banks are there in Tamil Nadu. Sorry, in India. The next one is a small finance banks. This type of banks looks after the micro industries, small farmers and unorganized sector of the society by providing them loans and financial assistance. So as of now, you can take, there are 10 small finance banks are there in India. Like for example of Fincare Small Finance Bank, like example of small finance banks, they are only looking of the micro level enterprises, small farmers and unorganized sector are concentrated and providing the micro credit to them for their operations, are provided by the small finance banks. And the payment banks are the recently developed banks, newly introduced in the banking system, and the payment banks have been conceptualized by the Reserve Bank of India. The people with an account of payment banks can only deposit amount up to the value of 1 lakh and cannot apply for loan, cannot apply for any of the credit card, cannot be possible under this. type of account. So you can be able to make the payment by using this particular account, which is possible. Can be act as a payment gateway for making or dispersing the payments. So you can take, there are about the 6 banks are at present in India. Airtel Payment Bank, Post Office Payment Bank, Jio Payment Banks, or the familiar in that the category of payment banks. The cooperative banks, the oldest one, the cooperative banks are giving a short-term loans to the agricultural sector and allied activities for the rural development, the kind of things, the kind of developmental activities to the agricultural sector. The fund is being provided in the cooperative bank, which is with the cooperation of the people, cooperation of its members can get the loan from this bank. Loan is also provided for the members, and the non-members also the loans are provided. But the members category, the loans are provided at the concessional rate, where the concession is not provided for the non-members category. This type of cooperative banks are classified into 3 different tiers. The tier 1 is state level cooperative banks. Tier 2 is the district level cooperative banks. Tier 3 is the village level cooperative banks, or otherwise call it as primary cooperative banks or primary cooperative credit societies. Comes under this category, which is operating in the village level. So these are the classifications of the commercial banks. So the next category is classification of non-banking institutions. So in this classification of non-banking financial institutions, which are the organization facilitating the banking related financial services but does not have the banking license. So one important aspect which cannot be registered under the RBI Act as a bank, but they are doing the function, any one of the function of the bank. Either they are accepting deposits or only they are offering loans. Likewise, they are not performing the function of a bank, but they can be able to do any one of the function that we can classify as non-banking institution or non-banking financial institutions, or comes under the category. There are different classifications of non-banking financial institutions which are classified into investment and credit company after 2018 by the regulation of RBI. Those asset finance companies, loan companies and investment companies are joined together and it is renamed as investment and credit company. This investment and credit company is focusing on asset finance. The loans are provided against the value of asset. The financing facilities are extended. The loan companies, it is the advances and the loans are provided. Even for consumables, it is like a personal loans and other things are provided as a loan companies. And the investment companies like merchant banking services are also provided. Securitization, underwriting process are also done in this investment companies. Mutual fund is a collective way investment option. Mutual fund is a vehicle for collecting investment from the investors, and this investment is invested into the various investment avenues or across the asset mix. The investments are proposed. It is like the basket of or the portfolio of debt or portfolio of equity or the combination of them. The investment as proposed under the mutual fund schemes. The insurance companies providing you the risk coverage and providing you the return by making investment into the insurance companies. There are different schemes are provided by the insurance company. Especially you can take the life insurance. They offer the kind of endowment and the modern policies are provided by the insurance company where the investor can invest, and the venture capital companies are providing a kind of financial services especially for starting up of the enterprises. It is high risk oriented projects. The investments are provided by the venture capitalists. If it is being a new company, the banks are refused to provide the loan for the company. The venture capital can provide the loan, Not only that, there are different forms of financing can be provided by the venture capitalist. Even a venture capital companies can contribute the equity of the company, can contribute the private equity of the new company or a startup. They can be able to participate. They have a kind of exit plan. Once the company has generated the return after a certain period of time, they come up with the kind of exit plan to liquidate their investment and they wants to detach from the organization. The kind of things comes under the category of venture capital companies. And microfinance institutions, especially focusing on the people in the rural area, focusing on the people who wants to develop. It is like economic activities are also being conducted by the microfinance institutions. The microfinance institutions are providing micro insurance, micro deposits, micro loans are provided under the microfinance institutions. Microfinance institutions are collecting a small fund or small deposits from the investors, from its members, and those investments or those deposits are going to be provided as a loan to its members. Any one of the member who need a fund, they can be able to get the loan and they can be repaid on periodical. So like the kind of things are to be done in the microfinance institutions. And the chit fund is a kind of oldest concept that they are doing both the deposit and credit related services are provided by the chit funds. The members are joined together to contribute, and whoever need a fund a point of time, they can be get the loan out of the fund. In the mutual funds, it is like a chit fund schemes. The important thing you need to know about the role of financial institutions. So these are the categories of financial institutions. I just start once again. The financial institutions are classified into banking institutions and non-banking institutions. The banking institutions are classified into the commercial banks, regional rural banks, payment banks, small finance banks. Cooperative banks are the major sector of banks under the category of banking institutions, whereas the non-banking institutions, in that the category we can classify the institutions in the form of finance institutions or investment companies like mutual funds, like portfolio management services. You can take the microfinance institutions or comes under the non-banking institution. So what is together the role of these financial institutions? What would be the benefit to the society is going to know about this particular session. The first one is a capital accumulation. The capital required for the companies are to be mobilized from the market. That is, financial institutions are collecting funds or providing schemes to the investors to make investments. So those investments are to be collected and provided as a capital to the enterprises by the financial institutions. So you all aware the financial institution can act as a mediator, is intermediary between the borrower and the investor. So they are doing this particular function, capital accumulation and mobilization of savings from the investors who wants to go for regular savings. The kind of funds are to be collected by them and it is invested into the various securities. Ensure for the greater yield, the kind of returns are going to be generated by making investment into the financial institution, or ensuring for the greater yield. The rate of return should be in higher position they are going to be provided compared to the investment into the other alternatives. If they can directly participate, they can directly making investment, not being provided the good rate of return, but they are making investment through the financial institutions are providing a greater return, and the economic growth, the overall economic growth are to be achieved in order to offer the kind of the various schemes to the enterprises, and the kind of investments are collected from the various investors. So it is act as a medium, it is act as an intermediary for this particular process. So the funds are to be provided to the enterprises are going to be used, and the kind of employment opportunities are going to be generated. Basically the people are going to get and the public are going to get the employment opportunity with respect to the particular companies who get the loan or who get the finance from the market. And increasing in this, the kind of the society is also going to be developed. The purchasing power of the people are also increasing. So together the total production in the particular country is going to be increased. Together we can have the good value of GDP, GNP and everything happens. So totally the economy is going to be developed as a role of financial institutions, and it is also benefit to the government. Government can get the benefit out of financial institution. It is whatever the fund required to the government is also provided by the financial institutions. Even it is like if the government wants to invest, government wants required a fund from the market. It is like a short-term requirement. They can be issue the treasury bills in the money market. It is going to be organized and arranged by the financial institution. Likewise, it is going to be the benefit to the government in various aspects. In terms of collection of taxes also, the financial institutions can help over the government, expand the activities of financial institutions. Apart from this, the activities are expanded into the different areas. It is like the normally the financial institutions are involving with the process of deposits and offering a kind of loans. After that, the kind of the securitization process, investment companies, financing companies, asset financing companies. Likewise, there are different things, their activities are expanded in the financial institutions, whereas you can take the things are like they have expanded into some other areas also. The financial institutions are also going for a cross selling. It is like in the banks itself, you can buy the insurance policies, the bank itself you can buy the mutual fund schemes, the bank itself you can make the investment into gold. Likewise, the activities are expanded, and the capital market, the place where you can mobilize the long-term requirement of funds, is provided under the capital market. So the capital market, the investments are going to be increased with the help of financial institutions. It means the share values are going to increase. If the investments are increasing, the share values are increasing, the investors are also getting benefit out of that. And the promotion of domestic and international trade, the kind of investment, the kind of assistance are also provided by the banks and financial institutions. It is like a kind of a subsidies, whatever announced by the government are arranged by the financial institutions. So the kind of promotional activities are also induced in that the part of domestic as well as for the international trade, and the balanced regional development are also attained by the help of financial institution. It is not going to be get benefited out of one particular area or one particular region is going to be developed. It is like across all the regions, the kind of inclusive growth ought to be ensured by the financial institutions. For that, the particular purpose, the majority, the RBI is insisting the banks and financial institutions also concentrate more on the rural area, tap the requirement of the rural area. For that, the particular purpose, the concessionalized minimum balance accounts are also being provided to the rural people to increase their saving habit. For that, the particular purpose, even the private banks are also doing the kind of things related to the development. So these are the major rules of financial institutions. Like the capital accumulation is collection of capital, mobilization of savings from the investor, and it is going to invest it into the market. Greater yield are ensured, thereby risk are going to be reduced, and providing maximum return to the investors who make investment into the financial institution, and the economic growth is ensured, thereby the number of employment opportunities are generated by the financial institution with the help of an industry or institution where they have financed, where they have granted the loans. So it is going to develop the overall economy and the benefit to the government, the collection of taxations and the fulfillment of government obligations are to be done by the financial institutions, and expanding the activities of financial institution into different areas like mutual funds, gold, insurance, where these products are also being available in the banking system. Unlike a capital market where you can get the long-term source of funds which required to the enterprises can be collected through capital market, promotion of domestic and international trade are promoted, whereas the government, whatever the scheme announced by the government are made arranged by the financial institutions, are offering a kind of subsidies for entering into a foreign contract or exporting of goods and services. The balanced regional development, the kind of inclusive growth are to be attained with the help of financial institutions where they can have the spread all over the country. So the balanced region development is possible with the help of financial institutions. Thank you.